Audio level's good. All right. Coach, like to respond to some comments made last night in Alabama?
Yes, I would. My dad always told me this. When people show you who they are, believe them. Right before he said that about us, wasn't he soliciting funds from the crowd? I ain't into that. I wasn't raised that way. You can call me anything you want to call me. You ain't calling me a cheat. I don't cheat and I don't lie. I don't mind confrontation. Kind of like it myself. Maybe somebody should have slapped him. Now you're fooling with our name. Oh, he's called.
You just didn't take the call?
Not going to. We're done.
I mean, yeah, you asked for a new one. We had some people show up, make a new one. New intro to the show, little club vibes right there, little party boy. I don't know about you guys. I like it. I had a good little time there on the intro. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Wednesday night? I think it's Wednesday night over here live in the lab. We got a film study coming for you. I've got my big board. We did Brooks's big board before on the offensive line, before I went and took my, trip across the sun, looking at players all across the state. We're back doing Brooks's big board, and we're back doing it live here on YouTube and Twitter as well. If you're watching this on Twitter, we'd prefer you over on YouTube. Just search the Film Guy Network over there, wherever you find us. That way you can engage with us just a little bit. I can see you over there, and we can hang out, have a good time. You guys can comment as well as join in on the Patreon family, patreon.com/Brooks Austin. I'm going to get all the love and all the plugs here on the front end because we got a lot of tape. We got 11 guys to watch and a lot of it explaining to do as well when it comes to these rankings. So showed love to Patreon, showed love to Twitter. Follow me at Brooks Austin SI. Share this however, wherever. And of course, show love to thegramco.com. Promo code Brooks25 will get you 25% off today on any type of CBD or Delta 8 gummies or products you want over there. Again, thegramco.com. Promo code Brooks will get you 25% off. A little juiced up, a little amped today. We're going to try to simmer down as much as we can as the film study gets going. Appreciate you guys for being here. Without further ado, let's not quite shut up and grind the tape, but let's explain something here just a little bit, okay? We got a big ranking sheet coming out right here, as you can see on the screen, right? We got number one, Damon Wilson, right, with a 4.62. What the hell's a 4.62? It's not his 40 time, Brooks. He's a little faster than that. What are these numbers? We're about to explain them. Okay, as you can see, Samuel and Pepp right there, number two. Keon Keeley, number three. Deshawn Womack, Adepoju Adebawar. Probably should have done some research on that one. We're going to call you PJ today. Right there, coming in at number five. Nicholas Harbour, the big freak show out of Penn, I believe Pennsylvania. Neo Avery right there, tight end, a /DN / a guy that I'm really high on for some projection purposes. By Jobe right there from Oklahoma in at number 8. Jaquavius Rousseau, the edge rusher out of Alabama. Jaden Wayne right there at number 10. And rounding out the Georgia commit, number 11, Gabe Harris. Now, Brooks, what in the hell are we looking at? What are we talking about? What is this stuff? Well, I got tired of just saying, well, I like this guy better than this guy and not having any quantitative data for it, right? No physical data points, no statistical data points, nothing like this. So I came up with my own edge score, if you will, right? A score for edge rushers. Now, you will see us here on the platform alter these scores for each position moving forward, right? Inside backers will have a different set of criteria. Running backs will have a different set of criteria. Quarterbacks will have a different set of criteria. This is my criteria for a great edge rusher, right? These are the things that I'm looking for in a young man when I'm trying to evaluate him, right? So first and foremost, we look at frame, especially if we're recruiting in an SEC program like Georgia or anything like that. You guys know this board is relative to the University of Georgia. So you will see some guys like Keldrick Falk think is a great football player, not on Georgia's board currently, right? So frame right there, biggest one, 0 out of 5 is how we are going to grade these. Burst, how quick are you in that first step, right? How quick do we get off the line of scrimmage? That is very, very important as an edge rusher. Bend, hey, how do we turn that corner? Do we have some good hips, right? Do we have good ankle flexion and ankle dexterity, things like that? Athleticism, that one speaks for itself. Okay, we got some freakazoids in this class we're going to show you tonight. We got hands on there. We talking about Brooks' hands. We're not talking about whether or not they can fight, but we are talking about whether or not they can hand fight. This is a rating about how well and how developed they are with their hand fighting skills. Are you a guy that's just out there winning on traits? Or are you a guy that has traits and is winning with a little bit of technique? Hands is very, very important. Readiness. Hey, can you come in and play for us right now? If we needed you right now, can you come in and play? Readiness 0 out of 5 is very, very important. Now, the most important thing, because I cover the University of Georgia, they are recruiting you to be a first-round draft pick, right? They are recruiting you based off your projection. They only recruit the dogs or the ones that they think will turn into dogs, right? They only recruit Jordan Davis if they think they can turn Jordan Davis into a freakazoid, right? They only recruit Jordan Davis if his ceiling is high enough to count twice, right? Ceilings count twice. How good a kid can be, how good a prospect can be, should count double in your evaluation, because that's what we're betting on. We're betting on development, right? So there's our criteria. There is our edge score for these edge rushers. Now, without further ado, let's watch a little bit of tape on these guys, right? Why are they where they are on your list here, Brooks? We're going to watch number 1 on the list, big Damon Wilson. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Damon Wilson here from South Florida. Damon Wilson is a 6'5", 235-pound edge rusher, okay, and has hands down the best twitch and burst in the class. Period. Not even close. Okay. I know we're not supposed to say not even close that often in the scouting world. I'm doing it. It's not close. This guy, and you're going to see it from snap 1 to snap whenever we're done. Okay. This guy has some special traits about him when it comes to twitch. Okay. This highlight film is nothing but him in a sprinter stance looking like Usain Bolt coming out of the blocks. Watch this. Boom. Okay. Shot out of a cannon every time you see him. Every time you see him, he is shot directly out of a cannon. He's what I call a turf thrower. Okay, if you could watch the HD clips, I came up with this term after watching the guy I played against in college. His name is Dylan Donahue, highest drafted football player, I believe, ever out of West Georgia. And the reason I called him a turf thrower, a turf thrower, is because when they were leaving the ground, right, when they were accelerating out of their stance, no matter if they were on grass or whether or not they were on turf, they throw up excrements this way, like a daggum cartoon character. When they produce so much force that they literally tear turf off the ground and they throw it. So in this clip, I wrote, he's a turf thrower. If you watch his feet, you can literally see the ground and the grass coming out and throwing behind him, right? Only the I have found, only the super twitchy and athletic defensive ends have this. Not your everyday Joe Schmo can throw turf, okay? Go watch it. Go watch it and watch the super freaks. They'll be throwing turf everywhere you're at. This dude is one of those, okay? Absolutely 100% one of those. So, a frame score, right? He's 6'5", 235, okay? The only way it could get bigger, the only way it could get better if we were already in that 6'6", 250 range. Yes, we do have a few of those tonight, right? So I gave the frame a 4.8. I gave this bend right here. You see it, look, right? Hey, there's an example of his bend right here on the edge. You're going to see him capture this one with a little bit of shoulder lean. But that's what it is, right? It's really more of a shoulder lean, not a bend, right? We're not really playing at 6'2". We're still kind of playing at 6'3", 6'4", 6'5", right? Still playing kind of high. So the bend comes in at 4.3. Now the burst, I told you, biggest twitch, most twitched up athlete in the class. Gave him a 5.0. Athleticism, 4.5. I gave the hand fighting skills a 4.5 because as you're watching, boom, there's the overhand. You see that? I mean, I couldn't have timed out that clip anymore. Or any better. It's almost like I remember what these things are doing as I'm taking these notes. Okay, look, you'll see the overhand right here, guys. This is not just a guy winning on twitch alone, right? This is a guy that's winning a little bit off of hand fighting as well. So he gets a 4.5 on the hand fighting and a readiness of a 4.5 as well. And I ceilinged him out at 4.95 times 2 for a total score of 4.62. Damon Wilson, the number 1 edge on the board. Number 1 edge on the board. Okay. Number 2 edge on the board. A guy that I told our SI director today, he is 100%, in my opinion. I think this guy's Von Miller. This guy right here is Samuel and Pepp. Now, let me tell you something about Sam, okay? Sam was playing wide receiver when he first got to IMG, okay? Then they moved him to tight end. Then he kept getting bigger, and they're like, shit, you might have to play defense. So now he spent the last, offseason developing how to become a pass rusher, and he might be the most polished pass rusher in the class. Okay, might be the most polished pass rusher in the class. I have him at a hands and readiness scale of a 4.5, the highest we have available in this class, and you're going to see why, okay? I think this guy has the best pace in rush, okay? A lot of guys, they're either all gas or they're all brakes, right? They're either all bull or they're all speed rush, right? There is one or the other. This guy, when I say he rushes with great pace, he attacks, figures out what your weakness is, where you are exposed, and then diagnoses and dissects, right? This is what will lead to immediate success in college, the ability to know exactly the move that I need, right? Look at his ability to be 6'4", right? To be 6'4", 240 pounds, but play at 5'10", but play at 6 foot, right? But play in the armpit of this left tackle. The other thing you need to notice, guys, these are IMG offensive linemen. These are dudes, man. These are dudes. The ability to play at 5'11" is why I think this is the best bend in the class, right? This is the definition of bend. Now, we work a little speed to power on the next rep, right? I just told you. The guy has a rare ability at a young age, especially considering the rush history. There's very, very limited, right? He has an ability at a young age to identify the pass rush move needed and select it thusly, right? Right here, he notices, hey, I got an ability to crank this into a bull. He's giving me that inside move. Occupy it right now. Now, I believe, go back to the inside move right here. Gets the guy overextended a little bit, scares him with the speed rush, hits him back with the inside move. So we're kind of seeing everything, right? We've seen him play low, play at the ghost technique. We've seen him play strong with the speed or with the bull rush, and then we see him get inside and show some quickness. He's at the top of your screen up there, just showing a little burst off the line of scrimmage. Showing a little burst off the line of scrimmage. He's down at the bottom of your screen now in the shorts and the white cleats. Good rush instincts, right? Good rush instincts. Offensive tackle oversets, or running back jumps back inside on this rep right here. He immediately jumps back inside with him, picks up the TFL. Really good rush instincts right there. This is probably the quickest I've seen an athlete progress as an edge rusher. I mean, it's like overnight, right? It's like overnight. We went from a guy who, there's the ghost move again. He's working an overhand, actually. I think he sinks that left hand over. But nonetheless, this is a guy that we've seen win in a variety of ways, right? A really, really polished pass rusher. That's what makes me very, very excited when I watch, especially athletes at IMG Academy. You know they're getting great coaching, right? You know they're getting really, really good coaching. If players like this, there's the speed to bull right there, gets the guy, this is a great rep. I love this. Gets the guy unbalanced, right? Gives him a little stutter. As soon as he catches the kid on his heels, straight to the bull rush, right to the chest. But what I was saying is, I think it's incredible to watch this kid go from, I don't know, is he a tight end? Is he an edge rusher? Love the body. We can project it to, holy hell, watch the tape. The guy wins in every fashion as a pass rusher. Which means now all of a sudden he's developed and he's clean and he's polished, right? And he's got really, really good hands and his readiness is on a higher end scale. And crap, all of a sudden he comes out at a 4.50 on the evaluation scale, right? All of a sudden he comes out at a 4.50 on the evaluation scale. Now, another guy, or a guy rather, that I haven't heard much about Georgia's ability or lack thereof to sign this joker right here. But Keon Keeley is a dude as well, okay? We got two guys over a 4.5 scale, which you guys know I'm not big into stars. We're just giving you data points so we can remember them over the history. I would imagine plus 4.5 on my range would be a quote-unquote 5-star, right? A full 5.0 is a perfect recruit. I don't know if I'll ever have one of those. So anything over a 4.5, solid football player projecting as a first rounder in that class, right? Anything under, just really, really good football player. Keon Keeley, for me, comes in at a 4.45, okay? At a 4.45. I think he's got lightning in his hands. Of all the guys that we've watched, this dude, when he puts his hands in your chest, poof, right? You really, really feel it. This guy's got a long arm stick that is worthy to be, you know, a top 10, 15 player in the country. Areas I knocked him compared to the last guys we've been watching, right? His burst, I don't think he's up there with the first guy we showed you. And I don't think his bend is quite up there with even an Pepp, right? He's not playing low. He plays really, really high all the time, right? So that impacts his readiness as well. Knocked him on readiness, right? So those were the three areas where I thought the other two guys were better. This is some avatar-like length, This is some really, really crazy stuff on this next clip, right? He's going to run this edge, and it's going to look really, really good. He's going to get to this point upon step 3 or 4, and he's going to explode. And you're going to be like, my God, how is this guy third, right? Lean. It's just lean and long arm, right? Lean and long arm. No bend, nothing special. The hand fighting skills aren't quite there yet, just yet. So we're still evaluating elite prospects, right? We're still evaluating elite prospects. The other thing that I really, really like about watching tape like this, especially for defensive linemen, for me, me personally, if I see you square a guy up, I want to see some damn explosion. I want things to look like a 12-gauge shotgun shell just went off, right? I want it to look like, oh yeah. I want it to look like freaking the high C man just jumped through the wall. That's what I want it to look like, right? This dude has that, okay, which tells me that the explosivity and the traits to go boom, those things are all there here, right? And in spades. Every time he touches a dude, it's just pow everywhere, right? Even that, we got dead bodies all over the floor. Dead bodies all over the floor. Some speed on the back end. I'm telling you, when he fully clicks and rolls, it's there. It is there. Woo! Woo! Yeah, man, I don't know how. I like the two guys, right? I like the two guys ahead of him, okay, ahead of Keeley. But there is a sizable gap between Keeley at 3 and who we're about to show you at number 4, who I also think is a plug and play. That's Arch Manning. He's about to light up, by the way. There's a clip in here. He tackles Arch. I know we're here to watch defensive tackles or edge rushers rather. But there's a clip in here where he tackles Arch, and you can tell Arch is a big freaking kid. Like he's been lighting everybody up, right? And then he tackles Arch, and it kind of looks lumbersome, right? It looks like it took some effort to get him to the ground. Just something I always like to watch. If I see it's this clip right here. God, I love my evals. It's this clip right here. Like he's straining to get that kid down on the ground, right? That tells me big, strong quarterback. We watched this kid for 4 or 5 minutes now or 3 minutes now in his highlight clips, and he's just been, just like I said, shotgun shells everywhere, right? Just blowing everything up, dynamite, right? And then we see him try to tackle Arch Manning. He ends up getting him to the ground, but it looks laborsome. It's just something I pay attention to when I'm evaluating other kids, right? Arch Manning's not going to put that on his highlight tape, but I just learned something about Arch, and you did too as an audience. Hard to tackle. Hard to tackle. That is valuable in the pocket, especially when you're not one of these like 4, 5 runners, whatever he is. Big, strong, fast kid, right? Big, strong, fast kid. There's a bunch of big, strong, fast in this class. He is the best of big, strong, fast, right? That's why you see the rankings that you do. That's why he's on the board where he's at on our board, right? Big, strong, fast, and is the primo edition of everything that is big, strong, fast in this class. Now, this is the 5.0 on the frame scale, guys. The 5.0. Deshawn Womack out of JDJ's high school, St. Francis, up there in Maryland. Let me tell you something. These dudes play big-time football. Big-time football. That is St. Thomas Aquinas that they were playing right there. You will see other Maryland teams like Williams' what's his name? Caleb Williams' team out from Maryland. You will see them on this highlight tape, and you will see them traveling out to California to play St. John Bosco's as well, okay? These guys play the best in the country every single year. And Deshawn Womack at 6'5", 250 pounds is plug and play. He's ready to rock, okay? Just put him in there, let him roll. He's as cleanly coached. He's as cleanly, as clean as it comes when it comes to technique. And he's as big and as physically ready as anybody in this class as well. This is 100% a just let him roll, right? A just let him roll. Put him in there, let him roll. Now, where he's getting knocked as opposed to some of these other guys, right? You won't see a bunch of twitch on this tape. You will see a bunch of lumbersome, he's in the right spot, nasty big dude, right? That's what you will see. We need those guys too. We need those guys too. Not everybody can run for Nicholas Harbour 10-2-2-9 like we're going to show you here in a little bit. I love the special teams tape. There you get to see him open the gate, right? There you get to see him really, really open the gate. We're not talking about Trayvon Walker right here, right, guys? You're watching it. We're not seeing 4.51 at the NFL Combine. We're seeing more 4.75. That's okay. That's really, really okay, right? It's really, really okay. He's right here. This is a tough look. This is a tough look. Let me try to get it for you. He is going to blow through all this and block this punt. Okay? So some special teams work on here as well, guys. Boom. Some special teams work in here as well. Really, really polished football player. Liked everything I saw on the tape, including his run fits, his lateral ability, his ability to maybe potentially one day project to a true defensive end role instead of an outside backer. I love everything about this. And in fact, these are the types of football players that Georgia has to take and has to go after. They're really, really clean. They're really polished. They'll come in. They'll be a top 250 player in the country, right? They'll be a solid portion of your class. Plug and play in a year and a half, right? Ain't got no problems. Ain't got no qualms. Solid football player for you. I watched this over and over again and thought he is the edge rusher version of Jamon Dumas-Johnson. Just really, really clean. There you can even see him showing a little bit of bend, right? He will clear this right shoulder. He'll get up underneath it. When he comes to the top of the break, you'll see it. I mean, he's got something there. What I love about Womack is that he's clean across the board. I mean, the numbers right here. He's got a 5 on frame, and then he's right around 4. He's either a 4+ or a 4-, right? He's either a 3.8 or a 4.2. Throughout the board, comes out at a solid 4.18, and that will conclude. No, we got one more 4.0 guy, right? We got one more guy that's over that 4 range, and that's our boy PJ, who we're going to butcher his name here in a second. I want to take the time while we watch the rest of Mr. Womack's tape right here. I want to take the time to point out to you guys, look at this movement. This looks like Trayvon Walker. Look at this. He'll flip his hips, pull his left leg open, right? From this point right here, this looks like the Florida play, right? This looks like the Florida play. Drop him, have him open, and right? It was the opposite for Trayvon. Trayvon dropped, closed on the dig, and put a hand on a ball, right? Same thing. These freakish avatars out here moving like that in space and being able to run guys down and explode on the football. That's the kind of stuff Georgia recruits, man. I'm telling you. Plug and play. Plug and play. Kid's got wicked instincts. Really, really good run instincts. You'll see him shrink space when he needs to. There's one clip in here where he completely blows up the mesh point, okay? And somehow, some way, he knew the quarterback had the ball. He just really, really smart football player. There's room for kids like this in my program if I'm running one. That's for daggum sure. That is for daggum sure. It's hard to watch from here, though. Don't really know what we got going on that play, bud. All right. Going to 22:49 to watch our boy, PJ. Now, this kid coming up, this kid right here, this is the definition of Chidera Uzo-Diribe. The definition, okay? Midwestern kid, 6'4", 86-inch wingspan, freaking long as all get out, twitched up, nasty, projectable football player. This right here, as you're seeing us lay out this edge board, is the definition of a kid that they would probably not have recruited in years past. This is a kid that lives out in the Midwest. Okay, I believe he's from Nebraska or somewhere out there, okay? And can absolutely roll. Watch this. Can absolutely roll. I remember this is one of the very, very first football players that Uzo offered when he got to Georgia. And you'll see why. There is so much twitch on this tape. So much twitch on this tape. This kid can flat out get it. Can flat out get it. I got on the notes, Avatar shot out of a cannon on tape. Oh, by the way, bow-legged. Y'all know the real homies, the real OGs, the ones that been here from day one. Y'all know how I feel about bow-legged athletes. Bow-legged athlete. Bow-legged athlete. Look at him. He out there roaming, dog. Look at them arms. Come on, bro. Come on. Now, the comp, look how wide they got to set him. I noticed this on the tape too, and as did he. Look how wide they're setting him, right? That's a split. That's a split. That's a split. that split started like that, right? The split started really wide. So what's that tell a young pass rusher? Hey, dumb, you're overset. Back inside to go get me a sack. So he's about 6'4", 220-ish right now. And you guys, you can see there's still a lot of weight to be put on, right? So on the frame scale here, right, on the frame scale, he comes back at a 4.74 because the height's there, the length's there, but what's left, right? We got to add the weight. We have got to add the weight. I have on my notes, this is DAndre Smith. This is the DAndre Smith of this class without the, 48-second 400s that DAndre Smith was running. This kick and roll, man. Just flash plays left and right on the tape. How about kick return? Hey, huh? How about a little kick return action? You're going to see a couple of these. We got a couple guys on kick return. One of these guys we're going to show you later is a kick returner. Boom. Burying kids. What you got for me? Rush to pass. That's that Nebraska football. We'll find out. We'll find out if it translates to the SEC. I think it will. I think the traits are there, right? Score come out at a 4.18. I love 4.18. I love the projection, right? The ceiling on this athlete, I wrote down 4.75. Y'all know that counts for 2 here, right? Counts for 2 here, and that's why he's as highly ranked on ours as he is. Love the ceiling of that football player. Think he's going to be a good one. Going to 29.52, and I mean, you could just see how long the highlight tape is. He made plays all damn year. All damn year. And we got Mr. Nicholas Harbour. Now, so for those of you who don't know about this freakazoid named Nicholas Harbour, okay, Nicholas Harbour ran a PR of 10.28. 10.28 seconds in the 100-meter at 6'6", 230 pounds. Now, I ain't got to show you this tape to tell you that this is the highest rated ceiling that we have of any athlete. Highest rated ceiling. He's got 5.0. 5.0, perfect ceiling. This is, if you take this and you shape this and it turns into the best version of itself, it might be the best edge rusher to ever walk the planet, okay? Because he's got all the traits. All the traits, but damn is he raw. Damn is he raw. You would imagine, right? I know he's a long speed guy. If you watch him in all of his 100 races, he gains like 50 to 100 meters. He really starts pulling away, right? So even though he's a 100-meter guy, you would expect to see some twitch and some burst on tape. It's not really there, okay? You can see the build-up speed. You can see him get faster as the play progresses. We can see length. We can see all the measurables in the world. There's not a ton of polish here, right? There's not a ton of polish here. And for that matter, there's not a ton of bend. I think he's pretty... It sounds crazy talking about an athlete that's got these types of measurables on the track surface. But, but I don't see a ton of bend, believe it or not. I don't know if he knows how to do this. I know he knows how to do this, which he did right there. Buddy, I know that. I know we can go, right? I know we can do that. But to be able to really, really hone the craft on the next level, we got to be able to do a little bit of this, right? We got to be able to do a little bit of this. That bend is what we need. There's very, very little of it on tape. But what did surprise me was to see this is a track superstar. And as this film progresses, you will see this kid kick inside to a 4-eye technique, okay? They got him playing a little bit of like true inside defensive end. I think these are all offensive close. So like right here, that's him. That's him over here in B-gap, man. Now, again, the level of comp, not that great, right? Not like he's out here banging it out in Gwinnett County in 4-eye or in B-gap, but, it tells me there's some projectability in the run game, right? This ain't just a guy that we think has to play tight end or is a track guy, right? Because he's a track guy. I don't know if that comes with all, I don't know if he comes with all that quote unquote baggage, right? Not as baggage. But there you see it, man. Like the athleticism and traits are all there. But as far as like, will this guy be ready to play day one? Hell no. I don't think so. Super, super raw on the football field. I just put who knows, take it and figure it out. Right? Just take it and figure it out. If you can train this guy and hone this guy to become what his traits say he can be, like I said, he's one of the greatest pass rushers to ever walk the planet, if that's what he turns into. Another one that's highlight tape is way, way too long. I mean, come on, guy. Come on, guy. All right, Neo Avery. Another dude that's playing in a dude conference. Another dude that's playing in a dude conference. And another guy that doesn't have a history as an edge rusher, okay? This is a kid that got an offer from the University of Georgia with only quarterback tape, right? And when he got the offer, we told you on patreon.com/Brooks Austin last June, okay? We told you last June that this was a guy that was projecting to be either a tight end or a defensive end. To hell with the quarterback play. He came to Georgia, turned in some of the stupidest testing measurables they had all summer as a rising junior then, right? He's a rising senior now. He is 6'6", he is 235 pounds, and he does move like, Georgia athletes move. Okay, so that's one thing you need to know. And I tell you all that to make sure that when we turn this tape on, you got all that context, because he ain't about to strike folks like he was playing quarterback for 12, 13 years. He finna strike folks like he was just like, a hungry, ravaged dog that was released out the pen. That's what we about to watch, okay? So just go on, get ready. Starting from the top, up here at the very top of your screen, he's finna catch a whole body, okay? A whole body right here. I love I don't even know how I would explain this. Some guys play the game of football, especially some defenders. Some guys play the game of football with a sense of, I really, really don't care what happens to my body. I don't. I do not care what happens to my body as long as I'm going as fast as I can. Neo Avery is one of these human beings. And again, ain't been playing defense that long. Been playing Pop Warner football, all that good stuff. He's a football player, don't get me wrong. But this is a dude that was getting recruited to be a tight end and a quarterback. And he's out here doing this. He's out here doing this. If you don't know where he's at, just look for the collision. That's all you got to do. If you don't know where he's at, just look for the collision. Bam. Just absolutely headhunting from a defensive line position. Every play, fireworks, explosions, boom, bang, boom. Everywhere. Everywhere. Right? I got on my notes, he very well could be Jermaine Johnson. Right? Jermaine Johnson was a guy that didn't really put it all together until his third, right? Transitioning in between his third and his fourth year of college football. That could happen here, and he might be your next 12-sack guy, because this dude can flat out go. And I know, based off what I see on tape right here, this dude will play the run hard. He will 100% play the run hard. He cares, okay? He 100% cares, and he's got the frame to do it, right? We got a 4.9 on the frame. The bend's there, or the bend projects to be there. There's none on tape, but he moves like an athlete that will one day bend really, really well. Okay? He is twitched up on tape. I do think there's some serious burst here, man. I do think there's some serious burst here. His readiness is what gets me. I think he's physically ready to play in the SEC. He is not ready when it comes to his ability to fight with his hands. His hand fighting skills came in at a 2-0. Because how else? I mean, that's just a straight bull rush. It's a straight bull rush. How else would he, know how to win, right? He's only been playing edge rusher for 8 months. However long it is, 8 months. Love the ceiling here. He got a 4.6 from me on the ceiling. 3.92 overall for Mr. Avery, coming in at number 7 on the big board. Number 8, I like me some by Jobe. I can't even lie to you. I like me some by Jobe. Guys, if you want to check up, or if you got any questions specifically, or maybe if you're a player tonight that I'm evaluating and you're watching and you're saying, man, I need to know what the full eval is. Why am I that low? Why are they that low? Why this? Why that? Why that? If you got any of those questions about my eval, A, my eval, B, ask me. We will go through all this if you want to. Okay, it took me about 7 hours to watch all this tape today. From the start of this morning to basically when we turned the camera on, outside of me stuffing my face and going to the gym to work off me stuffing my face, we was grinding tape. So if you got questions, if you got comments, if you got concerns, holla at your boy. We will take care of it. I know some of y'all just don't come at me sensitive, especially y'all players, okay? Don't come at me sensitive, okay? I'm just like another coach, okay? Just like another coach. What I am not is somebody who just tells you you're great, all right? I know that sucks. I know everybody wants to hear that they're the best thing that's ever walked since sliced bread. But hey, we can't all be sliced bread. All right, bye, Jobe. 6'5", 225 pounds from the state of Oklahoma. And here is the one I was telling you about. Yes, that is him. That is him returning this kick right here. I would imagine the athleticism score is going to be relatively high. Flat out rolling. Look at this. Flat out rolling. Granted, it's Oklahoma. Okay. I ain't out here pooping on Oklahoma. I'm not. Okay. It just again, this ain't Gwinnett County. Okay. This ain't even Southeast LA or South LA. This ain't even but Birmingham football. This ain't none of that. Okay. He will need weight when he gets into college. He absolutely will. And he is winning on traits in high school right now. Even that move right there, right? Even that sack that we just watched. You will see him playing really, really high, okay? You will see him immediately after he realizes, oh, crap, it's pass. He will do what we call key red, right? He will immediately go into a bull rush like he is a bull seeing red. He will peak and get really, really high and try to see what's going on, and then he will finally shuck his blocker and then go follow into the quarterback. None of that translates. None. Absolutely none. What does is the get off, the length, the height, the weight, all that stuff, right? Nothing that right there, you rag tossing, oh, homeboy that's going to be packing corn and slanging hay out there in Oklahoma, don't do nothing for me. But the height, the weight, the speed, all that other stuff we see on tape 100% does. 100% does. Beat that guy with a speed rush. Again, when you see him winning, he's winning with traits. He's either running through a guy, running around a guy, being too fast off the line of scrimmage for the guy in front of him. All of these things are to not be a detriment to him. They're just to say, like, hey, there is some transition here that we're going to have to pay attention to. And you see it right here in the readiness score. The readiness score comes out at 2.3, right? A 2.3 because physically, we got to add on weight, right? Transition-wise from the high school comp to the college comp is going to be a big difference, right? So we got some changes there as well. Now, Jaquavius Rousseau. I know this is a guy, man. This is one of these ones that I'm going to get a lot of questions about, I would imagine. Why is he so low? I mean, the whole industry's got him a 5-star. Why is he so low on your rankings? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Right? Well, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Actually, this is great. We're not even going to do that. We're not even going to do that. Okay. Here's why we're down at 9 as opposed to maybe at 4 or 5. I think 6'2.5", 6'3", okay, based off the people that I talked to that have seen him this spring, about 230-ish pounds, 235-ish pounds. Really, really put together, looks really, really good. Don't know how much bigger the frame's going to get. Okay, this is the lowest frame score we have, 3.0. Okay, it is not a detriment to him. He might be one of the most twitchy players that we have in the class. In fact, his burst came out at a 4.8 and his athleticism came out at a 4.7. This is a really, really, really good high school football player. And he's going to be a really, really good college football player. But we project off ceiling on this platform. We do. Georgia does. Alabama does. All of them do. Now, if you need a guy that can come in freshman year, be ready to roll, let's go. Let's go. We need an outside backer that can drop and rush the passer. He's your guy, 100%. But if we're betting on whether or not that guy is going to turn into a first-round draft pick, or whether or not that guy ranks up with the other guys, or whether or not that guy has a ceiling as high as the other guys, he simply does not. Okay, simply does not, because the frame's not there. The frame is not there. Okay, but he has filled out. He has really, really filled out in the last year. Okay, and the burst is insane. The dude can flat out go. Okay, he can flat out go. But the junior tape had me going, man, I don't know. Maybe he needs to do this. Maybe he needs to play inside backer, right? Because he can roll. He can slap roll, dude. But the spring tape I'm gonna show you, he looks like he did this over an offseason, right? He looks like he went from here to kind of like, just tad bit, right? Just tad bit. Maybe he got longer spikes on his cleats. I don't know. But nah, I mean, can straight up go. I on my notes off his junior tape, you know what it says? I got Channing Tindall vibes, right? Watch this junior tape. This junior tape looks like Channing Tindall rushing, right? All the wide arm, like tackling, diving on folks, right? Not really exploding through our hips. All the chase down clips, right? Real kind of boxy figure, high shoulders, tight waist, nothing but just chase down, bust ass, right? Like, I got a whole bunch of Channing Tindall vibes off this here junior tape from him. People be like, he really just compared a five-star edge rusher that the rest of the media industry is just all over to friggin' a fourth-round inside backer from Georgia. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. All right, here is the spring tape, I believe. Yeah. Look how much different the body looks. He looks bigger, taller, longer, right? He's starting to look a little bit more like the rest of these guys. This is a guy that I'm going to watch very, very closely this fall because he very well could just right up my rankings. 100% right up my rankings. He looks taller, he looks broader, he looks thicker. Okay? This clip really sold it for me. He takes his left guard, or this pulling guard right here, and absolutely stonewalls him right here at the point of the attack. Watch this. Doom. Right? That's a guy that can hold up. That's a guy that can roll. 381 on the Richter scale, on the edge score scale. Show you some more of this stuff. See? I mean, super, super twitchy dude. Super, super twitchy dude. All right, here we go. Jaden Wayne, guy that just got done with his official visit at the University of Georgia. Now, super big, really, really good athlete. This is the clip that had him just right down my board. And now maybe this can be cleaned up, but I missed on Dennis Sutton for this very same reason. And I saw him out at the San Antonio All-American game, and he couldn't quite get home. And the reason he couldn't quite get home was because he played too tall. His ankles were too tight, and he could not lean just yet, right? He did not have the ankle flexion to really play at what is about 10 o'clock, guys. If you look at a dial on your clock, really, really good edge rushers play at 10 o'clock. The world's best edge rushers, honestly, play at about 9:30. I can show you clips of Von Miller looking like his shoulder is touching the ground, okay? And because he's bending so much. No elite 4.5 plus guy on the edge score scale ever can have a screenshot taken of him like this. Not even off the start. Not even at the apex of the bend. We can't. When we're playing at 11:30 and the world's best are playing at 9:30, can't do it. Now, all the other stuff there, right? If you want a frame, Bubba, I got you a frame. He's as big as they come, right? He's as big as they come. 6'5", 250, ready to rock, right? But he plays at extremely high pad level, right? He doesn't have to win with much tech on the high school level. He does some great things as a tight end with the ball in the air. That's great. We're recruiting him to rush the passer, right? We're recruiting him to play defensive end or play edge rusher. Now, if you told me that you think Jaden Wayne bulks up to 275 and plays defensive end, not outside backer, I'm with you. Let's roll. Let's do that. I think we can project that. But if we're trying to say, hey, will this guy rack up 10 sacks in a single season? Probably not. Probably not. It requires a little bit different skill set to be doing that. But I love the upside of this dude at the point in the run game, right? At the point in the run game, we can watch all this tight end stuff, but that's great. When you got such length, right, and you have the ability to have an anchor, right, to have some ass in your hips and hold your ground, I love that as a prospect in the run game, okay? But when we don't have ankle flexion, when we don't have bend, and I don't know if we have burst, but more so long speed, we start falling. right? We start falling down the list. Now, this last one is the Georgia commit, okay? And another one that's going to cause a lot of questions. This is Gabe Harris, okay? It's Gabe Harris right here. Let's start by saying this. On par, athletically, frame, ability, ceiling, all that, on par with just about anybody. He's got a 4.8 in frame. He's got a 4.2 in athleticism. He's got a 4 flat and burst on my rating, and his ceiling's a 4.0. Okay, the ceiling is a 4.0. He is a really, really highly ranked player outside of one area, 2 areas: his hands and his readiness. Okay, gonna be a lot of learning here. There are, and he suffers from what we call the Brooks Austin in-person eval. Okay, that's what he suffers from. All these other kids, I didn't really get a chance to see. So they might have some of the same issues that I noticed in Gabe, which is a readiness to compete and perform like a professional every time you take the field. Okay, every time you take the field. So this stuff is a really, really great. This stuff is absolutely insane. This stuff is Trayvon Walker type freshman year covering kickoffs. Oh my God, who's the avatar? Okay, oh my God, who's the avatar? Who is out there doing what he's doing? Who is that? Okay, it's got all the trappings of that. Okay, but even in this clip where you're watching it and you're going, oh my God, avatar. You know what I see? I see a guy that right about now completely bails out of his coverage lane. Completely, right? Even on the highlight, man. Even on the highlight, I can nitpick just a little bit, right? Just something as small as staying in the lane. We didn't stay in our lane. We veered off into the guy next to us. And we about damn near ran into him, right? Now we make the play. It's all great. We explode all over it. But that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about, right? The minor attention to details, the kind of stuff you only really garner from paying attention in special teams meetings when you're supposed to be. Things like that, right? Things like that. Super athlete. You will not find a better looking prospect. You won't. Damn sure won't, right? Damn sure won't. Boom. Okay? I don't know how to do this without sounding too critical or over harsh or things like that. I would just say, I'll give you what his coach told me. You need to learn how to practice. That's all. Just learn how to practice. That's it. And then all of this, all that the good Lord above provided for this body to go out and do, we good. We absolutely good. Make me wrong on this eval. Okay, make me wrong. That's all I'm saying. The film is great. The height, the weight, the speed, the frame, all that's great. Ceiling, high as anybody's, like we told you earlier. But your ceiling and got a lot of potential. That my coach used to say this all the time. Just because somebody tells you you got a lot of potential, that only means that you suck right now, right? My coach used to say, think about that. Hey man, you got a lot of potential, but that means you're bad right now, right? Gabe Harris has a ton of potential. Got to reach it. Got to reach it. And I guarantee you right now, if there's one place on this planet, maybe 2, where you better learn how to practice stuff gets figured out really, really quickly, it's the University of Georgia. It is 100% the University of Georgia. So I don't really have any qualms, worries, concerns, none of that, because all the traits are there, and they're a traits university. They are the University of Traits. I can't bring them a football player if they don't have traits. Period. And he's traitsy. He's as traitsy as they come. Appreciate you guys for being here. We will see you another time.